Good morning, everyone. If you're a trader and you also love yourself as a trader, you should pay attention to this setup. This was the setup I sent to my students last week, as on Thursday. So I sent this setup and I was like trying to test your ability to see what I've been teaching you guys, if you have been noticing, if you have been understanding what we have been doing here. So this was the setup I sent. Then there were no this place. This was where the chart was stayed. And when you guys tend to see this, because I didn't make this the change of character, I make this the change of character, and I also make this the change of character. Let me remove all the write-offs. So basically, this is more of a clean chart. And so what I basically do is I went to my 4-hour time frame. That's how I usually that's how I usually trade. I only use 4 hours and 15 minutes time frame on my charts, and this was 4-hour time frame. And this was where we are getting already. We are having a series of uptrends, a series of an uptrend. You can see its price keep impulsing and correcting, impulsive and correcting up to this very place that we have gotten the ultimate all-time high. So when we've gotten this all-time high, this is a very risky place whereby you have to, settle down and see what is going to happen. So after I got this and I consider this pullback, because buyers has shifted this candle, prices has reaches here as the all-time high, and then sellers attempt to shift the market downward, and now the market is downward, and the next candle we got also goes down up to this very place. And this was where buyers have tried to push it, but remember, this candle still close on a bearish candle, and this is a 4-hour time frame. And this very little candle, it's a lot of candles in the smaller time frame. So after this, I got a lot of rejection to the upside, but this candle attempts to close as a bearish candle. And also this candle has a lot of rejection. This candle also had a lot of rejection. That is, it is trying to tell you that there are some resistance over here. Something, wherever the reason is, something is really holding the market within this range. Something is really catching the market within this range. It's not letting the market, to crosses this very position. That is, it is trying to tell you sellers are going to, shift the market to the downside for a retest, because it is already an uptrend. If price is coming back for a retest, price is coming back, to mitigate this somewhere around there. But once price crosses this very base, this is a base. So once price crosses here, we'll look forward to see if the market is going to reverse to a sell position. So when I identify this, I quickly go back to my smaller time frame, which is 15 minutes. I told you 15 minutes. So this is our 15 minutes time frame. So basically, this was where we got all those rejection. These are the rejection that we've gotten on the higher time frame. So we got all this rejection, and this is what the rejection has made on a smaller time frame. You see, there are a lot of candles. There are a lot of candles that are trying to do something else. But remember, we've got the idea from the bigger time frame that price is trying to go down, because we had a lot of rejection. Buyers have been trying to push the market upward, but the market refuses to push upward. That is, it is telling you somewhere around here there is a lot of rejection. There is a resistance that is not letting the market to go upward. So when I come back to my 15 minutes time frame, I try to see, okay, what the problem is. Okay, this is the problem. We have a higher high and a higher low, higher high, higher low. It price keep going that way. And also here, higher high and higher low. But if you attempt to see this was the higher high and this the higher low. But this this very junction has causes something that make this price to change this character from this very position. But when it changes character to this position, it also goes back to create another all-time high. So now the market is here. So this has exhausted basically. So what are we expecting, since we have also gotten another break of structure to the upside? That is, the price will tempt to continue going upward to create another higher high. But price refuses to do that at this very junction. So when prices comes here, prices come back, and we were expecting a shift that will break this structure, and there was no any shifts that break this structure. But we got what we call incomplete. This, it is an incomplete pullback. So that was why this did not attempt to break this structure. And remember, according to our rules, anything that does not break structure, we are going to pay attention to that very place. So this was basically where we 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 got interest, because this price cannot break this. Then we wait to see, does this very candle causes a break of structure to the downside, or a shift of structure to the downside. Then we come to see, and this is what price did. So this is the change of character that I've got for the first time. So we wait patiently for the price to see if this price it's going to go upward, or it's going to respect this change of character. Because change of character alone, it's not into the financial market. But once you have change of character, and also what did I tell you, that if we have change of character, then what are you going to do? Yes, of course. If anywhere you find a change of character, if you can clearly identify a change of character must, close with a body, not a candle. Had it been this closes somewhere around here, if this price was somewhere here and we've gotten change of character with this tail, we cannot use this change of character. Why? Because price has not closes with the body. So now that price has closes with a body, so we are going to consider this as a change of character. But still, yeah, change of character enough is alone. It's not enough confluence for us to get into the market. Okay, because we have gotten change of character, then we are going to sell the market. That's not how things are done. So you have to wait for another break of structure. So when you've gotten another break of structure, because at that very moment while you are trying to make this, a lot of people are buying, and also a lot of people are selling, most especially price action traders. The price action trader will tend to say, okay, this a clear chart. If this is a clear chart, at least I should get a trend line that can touches two bottoms. The third one, I can buy the market on it. So we don't do that. We are inner cycle traders. So we wait for confluence that are strong, confluence that are enough to resist market. So while we've gotten our change of character here, and price attempts to go back for a pullback, if price could surpasses this very candle, let me draw this candle. So anything that can make price to come back for a pullback, to crosses this very line for us, we are not going to use it. But then some people will be like, okay, if this cannot crosses this very sorry, if this cannot crosses this very other block, then why are we going to why won't we sell the market to the downside from this very position? But that's not how things work. And we trade what we see. We trade what we see in the financial market. So we cannot sell the market. We have to wait, to gather a lot of, confluence before we can get into the trade. So this was what price did. Price came back for a pullback, which we are expecting price to come back and break structure for us. So this was what price did. Price also come back to break structure at this very junction. So this is the break of structure. And if you see prices break structure to the downside, what causes the break of structure? This was the very junction that causes this to break this structure to the downside. So once you identify this, you know that you are going to sell this market, but where? Where? Then you now go back to ICTs. A lot of people will be waiting for this market. Let's take our trend line. Let's say here we have one. We also have two touch, and we are waiting for the third touch. A lot of the guys will be like, okay, price has touches this for the first time, and it has also touches this for the second time. They will be waiting for price to come back to this very position, then they buy the market to the upside. But you, as an inner cycle trader, where they are trying to buy the market, that's where your entry it is. So when prices comes here, it has touched once, and a lot of people will be like, okay, this is an order block. They will buy the market to the upside. It won't work. For you as a professional trader, this is what you do. You have this and you spot this as an liquidity, which you are also waiting for the price to come and go away with all of this liquidity that is being gathered from here, because price has been resisting from the upside, and a lot of buyers are going to buy from this very junction. They are going to buy. So this was what price did. Price came back to take this liquidity and also give you a break of structure. Now price has given you this break of structure. What are you waiting for the price to do? Then you say, what is it that causes this break of structure? This junction was where causes the whole of this break of structure. Then you come back and say, okay, if this was what creates my break of structure, then I'm going to get this guy. So this is it. Anywhere in the financial market, you got a break of structure, a change of character. You identify it clearly, and you also identify a break of structure. Remember, I told you, a change of character cannot be a genuine change of character with a week of the body. It has to close that very candle with the body. So this was what we did. And now this has crosses. If this junction was what causes this to break this structure to the downside, then this is going to be our point of interest. And we are going to get 50% of this order block. We can call this an order block, because this was where the financial institution got into the markets. This was where we've gotten a huge order. And because we've gotten huge order from this very junction, this was what made this price, to shift, because the market, like, there are a lot of orders with huge amount of money that got into the market. So because these orders have got into the market with huge amount of money, then this was what creates this fair value gap. We call it fair value gap inefficiency, because there is a lot of huge money has entered into that very market. This was where the market makers got into the trade, and because they have a lot of orders, then it now tends to push the price to the downside with a very high long. This was what called, and this created what we call inefficiency. Now that you have gotten inefficiency from there, I told you, you cannot use one confluence to get into the trade. You cannot use one confluence. You have to use a lot of them. Just one thing cannot make you enter a trade. So now, sorry. So now that you have gotten your inefficiency, price is coming back, to fill that very gap. And this is a junction whereby a lot of people are willing to sell the market, because financial institution has gotten into the trade, you are going to get a clean setup. So this is where you are going to the 50%, at the 50% of this order block, and you target the the previous week. You target this as your first TP, and you target this as your second TP. So this is your first TP. This very place is your first TP, and this is your second TP. This is where you are going to target on this trade. And this is how price came back, to fill it and take profits, to the downside. So this was the reason I took this trade on Thursday. But I knew this is a pullback. This is just a pullback because I'm expecting price to get to 3,000 by next week. Today is Sunday, and tomorrow is Monday. Market is going to be opened by tomorrow. I'm expecting price to get to 3,000. Even with this, I was on a trade on this very place, and I was buying the position, and it has later, you know, came and give me the profit. This was the news that happened that very day, and price tends to shift up and down. Even though price is still going upward from Monday to downward, and this was the reason I took this trade. So I hope you all understand what we did here. Thank you very much, guys. Catch a video.